Hello guys. Nick Saban no longer feels anxious about Bama football in 2025? I read an article about Bama. Let's explore this subject further. But is this shocking to Bama's loyal fans? A scandal? Let's get to the news. The news that Nick Saban no longer feels his usual anxiety when thinking about Alabama's future in 2025 is, without a shadow of a doubt, something that sends shivers down the spines of Crimson Tide fans. For many, this feeling of apprehension on Saban's part has always been a sign that the team was constantly evolving, looking for new ways to reinvent itself and remain at the top of college football. So hearing that this nervousness has disappeared may sound like a warning siren for Bama's loyal followers, especially at such a crucial moment in Bama's transition with DeBoer. When we think of Nick Saban's legacy, it's impossible to separate him from the image of an obsessive coach who lived every detail of the season with an almost palpable intensity. He transformed Alabama into a relentless machine, a franchise that didn't just win games, but defined entire eras in the sport. So when Jeff Allen, a name with decades of history within the program, mentions that the atmosphere in 2025 is very different, it's clear that we're in for a new era. But is that difference enough to assuage fans' concerns? It's understandable that fans feel a mix of shock and uncertainty. After all, Alabama isn't just a football team, it's a cultural institution, a source of pride and identity for thousands of people. When Allen spoke about the learning curve faced by the players and coaching staff in DeBoer's first year, he touched on a raw nerve. That first spring without Saban was described as tough to get through, and it's not hard to imagine why. Replacing a legend is no easy task, especially when that legend has shaped nearly every aspect of the program for nearly 2 decades. What's striking about Allen's account, though, is how he highlights the team's evolution between 2024 and 2025. He mentions that the players are comfortable now, something that might otherwise be a red flag. In football, comfort is often synonymous with complacency, but Allen seems to suggest that in this case, it's a positive word. It reflects confidence, stability, and a sense of belonging that may have been shaken during the initial transition. It's as if the players have finally found their groove under DeBoer, someone who, in Allen's words, has quickly shown who he really is, both as a man and as a coach. That's a crucial point. Kalen DeBoer didn't have the luxury of building his own team from the ground up. He inherited a roster that was recruited to play under Saban, which meant his main mission was to win over those players, earn their trust and, most importantly, make them believe that Alabama would continue to be competitive under his leadership. And, by the looks of it, he succeeded. Allen speaks glowingly of how DeBoer has connected with the locker room, something that impressed even someone with nearly 2 decades of experience with the program. It's a testament to DeBoer's hard work and ability to navigate through turbulent waters. But even so, it's natural for fans to wonder, is this comfort enough to keep Alabama on top? College football is constantly changing, with rival programs investing heavily in infrastructure, recruiting, and innovative strategies. The competition has never been fiercer, and the weight of expectations on Alabama's shoulders is enormous. Without Saban's signature eagerness, could the program risk losing the sense of urgency that has always propelled it forward? On the other hand, that might be exactly what Alabama needs right now. Perhaps this new energy, this sense of stability and confidence, is the fuel needed to take the team to new heights. DeBoer has shown that he can adapt to change and implement a modern style of play, something that could be crucial to attracting new talent and keeping the program relevant in an increasingly dynamic landscape. What is clear is that the Alabama of 2025 is no longer the Alabama of Saban, and maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sure, there are concerns, doubts, and even some nostalgia for the past. But there is also hope. The way Jeff Allen describes the current environment suggests that the team is finding its own identity, something that goes beyond the shadow of a legend. And as long as the players continue to believe in DeBoer's project, there is reason to believe that things will get better. The Alabama quarterback race has been one of the most talked about and speculated topics behind the scenes for the Crimson Tide as the season begins. With the traditional spring game that marks the end of training camp, just days away, fans are eager for answers about who will be chosen to lead the team's offense in 2025. However, as offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb revealed in an interview with ESPN, that answer is still unclear. And for many fans, that may be cause for both concern and curiosity. Grubb got straight to the point. "I think we have 3 really good quarterbacks, and I mean it." That statement is music to any coach's ears, but it also reflects a complicated reality. None of the 3 players, Ty Simpson, Austin Mack or Keelan Russell, have managed to stand out in a decisive way so far. All have shown flashes of talent, but they still lack the consistency that defines an ideal quarterback for a program with Alabama's ambitions. You're looking for the guy who's going to be consistent, who can show up the same way and make the same plays over and over, Grubb explained. That search for consistency is what's keeping the decision open. The numbers help to better understand the scenario. According to ESPN, Austin Mack led the group in practice reps, with an impressive 162. Ty Simpson, the most experienced quarterback on the roster, was right behind with 158. Keelan Russell, despite not having his rep numbers released, remains in the running, according to Grubb. Each of these players brings something different to the table, making the choice even more challenging. Simpson, with 50 pass attempts in his college career over 3 seasons, is the name most familiar to fans. He's had opportunities in the past and is seen as a familiar figure within Kalen DeBoer's system. However, his experience doesn't necessarily guarantee a starting position. What he needs to show now is that he can be the reliable leader the team needs under pressure, something that hasn't been completely clear yet. Austin Mack, the only one of the 3 with a touchdown pass on his college resume, brings a dose of practical credibility. He has proven that he can deliver in big moments, even in limited situations. For many, that could be a significant differentiator, especially in a program where efficiency on offense is crucial. However, Mack has yet to show that he can sustain that level of performance over the course of a full season. Keelan Russell, on the other hand, is an intriguing enigma. While his reps are not listed, the fact that he is still in the running suggests that there is something special about his game. It could be his athleticism, his reading of the field, or simply raw potential that is still being honed. Whatever the case, Russell represents an unknown quantity that could either surprise in a positive way or prove immature for the moment. What is most striking about Grubb's speech is his relaxed attitude toward the process. He admitted that he would like to have an answer before the summer, but also acknowledged that he did not expect to resolve the issue so soon. "I wasn't thinking, oh, I bet we'll have it done by practice 11, he said. That mindset reflects a confidence in the potential of all 3 players, but also a strategic patience. Grubb knows that rushing into a decision could hurt the development of everyone involved. For Alabama fans, this drawn-out contest can be interpreted in a number of ways. On the one hand, it's encouraging to know the team has multiple solid options running the offense. On the other, the lack of a clear leader raises questions about how the team will handle the pressure of big games. In college football, especially at elite programs like Alabama, the quarterback position is almost synonymous with the team's identity. It's the player who ties everything together and turns the game plan into reality. Without a clear name, it's hard to project with any clarity what the Crimson Tide's offensive dynamics will look like in 2025. A day could be the perfect stage for one of these quarterbacks to finally step up and stake a claim as a starter. It will be an opportunity for them to show off their skills in an environment that simulates the conditions of a real game, in front of the watchful eyes of fans, analysts and, of course, the coaching staff. Whoever manages to stand out in this competitive scenario can gain a significant advantage in the race. Who will win this battle? Some people are already betting on Mack, but that's for another video. Comment below.